tell us a little bit about your version of Snow White?
Yeah, I mean, Snow White is the girl you remember, but she's definitely made for the modern age, and there's such an emphasis on what it really means to be the fairest of them all. And for Snow White, it's coming to terms with finding herself and finding her inner voice and finding a sense of agency so that she can be a just ruler and a wonderful queen.
Joining me now is celebrity and royal commentator Kinsey Schofield. Kinsey, we know Disney's Snow White has been a box office disaster.
I sat through the whole thing. I don't want to say it was the worst movie I've ever seen. It wasn't. But every way that the movie changed the story from the original, the 1937 movie, or even from the original Grimm Brothers fairy tale, every way that Disney changed the story, it changed it for the worse.
They've got this new Snow White film coming out, and there are a few problems with it.
Hardcore.
They're petrified of some kind of backlash.
I wanted my money back. It was very disappointing.
The movie is a complete disaster, by the way.
Have they ever thought about maybe like a little bit of like, I don't know, vulnerability study, opposition research, that sort of thing?
So apparently, according to them and according to the writers of Snow White, women can't even want to be in love anymore.
Spent $170 million to make the thing, and it had the lowest opening, under $50 million, of any of these live-action Disney remakes that they've ever had.
You know the saying, go woke, get broke, and Disney's going to lose money on this movie, and I believe it only made less than $1 million in China.
The Disney live-action Snow White presented an opportunity to merge vintage charm with contemporary storytelling at the time of its release. The film has generated widespread criticism, which established its position as one of the lowest-rated movies in history. This article investigates how a beloved fairy tale story evolved into a contemporary tale about artistic failures and financial losses and cultural mismatch. When Snow White first announced its production, the studio promoted it as a grand project to delight contemporary audiences. The production team intended to preserve an eternal narrative by adding modern principles and state-of-the-art visual effects. The film's digital release triggered an immediate wave of negative reviews, which turned into widespread criticism. The current IMDb rating of 1.9 out of 10 shows that viewers strongly reject the movie beyond simple disappointment. The movie received a 1.5 out of 10 rating from more than 227,000 users, according to Forbes. The ratings demonstrate a general disappointment among viewers who wanted a respectful take on the classic story. The negative reaction goes beyond the digital score. The financial consequences of the movie's poor performance have been just as severe. According to The Times, Snow White has caused Disney to lose $115 million in revenue. Disney suffered both financial damage and an important studio warning because it relied heavily on remakes as its main profit generator. The financial problems form only one part of the numerous issues that arise during production. The discussions extend beyond financial losses because they explore both creative production choices and casting selections that generate widespread debate on social media platforms and conventional news channels. Entertainment Weekly documented the sequence of controversies which emerged before the movie hit theaters. Critics charged that the filmmakers destroyed the essence of the fairy tale through their political reinterpretation and their choices of casting, which offended original fans. Forbes reported that actor Peter Dinklage expressed his disappointment about the changes made to the dwarf characters, which he deemed both unethical and stylistically wrong. The battle between new approaches and established methods proved fatal to Snow White. A supposed bold effort to modernize the classic story ended up becoming multiple failed attempts. Newsweek's review roundup labeled the film as exhaustingly awful, which matched the audience's disappointment about the destruction of the original magic. The CBR review highlighted multiple technical issues, including inconsistent CGI effects and an unengaging storyline, which caused viewers to feel frustrated by the abrupt shifts in tone and execution. The controversy surrounding this issue extends beyond creative and financial aspects into an unexpected environmental dimension. The controversy surrounding Snow White stems from its impact on deeper social issues. The Guardian noted the film accidentally struck cultural fears about aging while promoting youth-oriented societal values, which continue to influence modern media. The themes presented in the story lacked subtlety when addressing complex ideas, which resulted in alienation of fans and critics. The struggle between preserving the basic charm of the original story and meeting current social commentary needs remained unresolved, thus creating a hollow and overreaching narrative. NME and Inside the Magic strongly criticized the film by labeling it one of the worst movies ever made according to its poor IMDb ratings. Inside the Magic reported that the studio's attempt to create a groundbreaking interpretation of the film has failed to generate positive online reception. Screen Rant reported how Snow White's box office performance broke all previous underperformance records of Disney live-action films, which indicates a possible shift in the company's future direction. This failure creates widespread effects that reach into boardrooms of Hollywood and creative studios throughout the industry. Financial experts predict that blockbuster adaptations face danger when audiences reject interpretations which deviate from classic roots. Each creative departure from beloved original elements brings both artistic danger and severe monetary threats to the production. Disney's experience with Snow White serves as a powerful lesson. The old adage, "if it ain't broke, don't fix it," might hold more truth in the age of remakes than ever before. From both critics and the general public, underscores a broader cultural moment where authenticity and respect for tradition are demanded, even in the face of modern progressive ideas. The failure of Snow White is a cautionary tale, a reminder that while change is inevitable, there is a fine line between meaningful evolution and the loss of what made a story timeless. In the end, Snow White stands as a monument to the challenges of adapting beloved stories for a contemporary audience. It embodies the risks inherent in blending classic narratives with modern ideologies, a process that demands not only creative flair, but also a deep respect for the source material. As discussions continue and debates rage on, this film will be remembered not merely for its box office numbers or its unyielding IMDb rating, but for the larger conversation it ignited about the future of storytelling. Thank you for joining me on this exploration into one of modern cinema's most controversial chapters. Let the legacy of Snow White be a reminder to creators and studios alike. Honoring the magic of the past need not come at the expense of progress. Instead, it is a call to find that delicate balance where innovation meets tradition, a place where our shared memories can be celebrated without being compromised.